Do you think your English is advanced? Are you sure? Who knows? Maybe after watching this video, your mind changes about your knowledge of English or your knowledge of English idioms and expressions. So today's video will focus your attention on 10 advanced English expressions that if you know, your English is fluent and advanced. Let's get started. The first English expression that I highly recommend that you should learn and use more frequently to speak a more advanced English is to take a liking to someone or something. To take a liking to someone or something. When you take a liking to someone or something, you begin to like someone or something. So, to take a liking to someone or something, which means to begin to like someone or something. An example, if you watch only one of my YouTube videos, you will take a liking to all of them. If you watch only one of my YouTube videos, you will take a liking to all of them, which means if you watch only one of my YouTube videos, you will begin to like all of them. So, to take a liking to someone or something. So, the next time you want to say, I don't like something, but I think if time goes by or in the long term, I will begin to like it or I will begin to like them, like him or her. We're talking about a person here. You can use this idiomatic expression to take a liking to someone or something. The second expression is, it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the hassle. When we say it's not worth the hassle, it means it is not worth doing something because it involves a lot of problems. It is followed by a lot of problems. And doing something is not worth all its problems. So it's not worth the hassle. It is not worth the hassle. An example, she stopped learning English because she believes it's not worth the hassle. She stopped learning English because she believes it's not worth the hassle, which means she put an end to learning English because she believes learning English is not worth all its difficulties and problems or all the problems followed by it. So, she stopped learning English because she believes it's not worth the hassle. The third English expression that if you know your English is fluent is to dispense with the formalities. To dispense with the formalities. What is the meaning? To dispense with the formalities. We can use this expression to ask the person you're talking to or the people listening to you to avoid formal conversations, boring, unnecessary, and long formal conversations, and to speak more openly and directly. So, to dispense with the formalities means to speak more openly and directly. To dispense with the formalities. An example. Let's make this conversation shorter by dispensing with the formalities and getting straight to the main point. Let's make this conversation shorter by dispensing with the formalities and getting straight to the main point, which means let's make this conversation shorter by speaking openly and directly and by avoiding any unnecessary details or, boring, long, and formal conversations. And let's get to the main point. The expression number 4 that if you know and also use, your knowledge of English is advanced or you have a very advanced command of English expressions is right from the word go. Right from the word go. Right from the word go. What does it mean? Right from the word go means right from the very beginning. Right from the word go means right from the very beginning. An example. They've been helping us right from the word go. They've been helping us right from the word go. They've been helping us right from the word go, which means they've been helping us right from the very beginning. They've been helping us right from the very beginning, right from the word go. The next expression that I'm about to focus your attention on will blow your mind and also will make you wonder whether your knowledge of English is really advanced, which is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Have you ever heard this before? Have you ever seen it? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, which means you should not risk what you already have in your possession right now. on trying to get what you don't have yet, or it is not worth risking what you already have on trying to obtain, or trying to acquire what you don't have yet. So, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. An example: I have a lovely car. I don't need anything bigger and better. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I have a lovely car and I don't need anything better and bigger. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, which means I have a lovely car now. I don't need to risk the car that I have right now on trying to get something better and bigger. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, which means what you already have now in your possession is way better than what you don't have, or what you're trying to get or acquire. Or you better not risk, or you should not risk what you already have in your possession on, the idea of trying to get or acquire what you don't have yet in your possession. Moving on to the next English expression, that if you know, your knowledge of English expressions is fantastic, which is to bring home the bacon. 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 What is the meaning of this idiomatic expression? When someone brings home the bacon, they are the one who makes money for a family to live on. So if you're someone in your family who brings home the bacon, you're the breadwinner of the family. You're the one that makes money in your family for the family to live on, or for other members of the family to live on and depend on. In most families, parents are the ones who bring home the bacon, especially fathers. Fathers support the family financially, so they're the ones bringing home the bacon. An example: my father is the one who brings home the bacon in our family. My father is the one who brings home the bacon in our family, which means my father is the one who makes money in our family and supports our family financially and makes money for the family to live on. The person making money, bringing money to the family, is nobody else but my father. So to bring home the bacon. The following idiomatic expression that I'm about to focus your attention on will blow your mind in a way that it might make you wonder whether your knowledge of English is really advanced or not, or you need to improve your knowledge of English expressions, which is a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. What does it mean? Where do we use it? What do you mean, a blessing in disguise? A blessing in disguise refers to something that seems unpleasant and bad at first, but later on turns out to be good and beneficial. So a blessing in disguise is something that is really beneficial, that works to the advantage of you, or is of significant benefit to you. But you don't realize it at first, but later on, as time goes by, in the long term, you realize that it's been very useful for you. It's been really beneficial. It's benefited you in many ways. So a blessing in disguise, something unpleasant, something that seems or looks unpleasant at first, but later on turns out to be beneficial and advantageous. An example: losing my job was a blessing in disguise. It gave me the time to focus on my passion. Losing my job was a blessing in disguise. It gave me the time that I needed to focus on my passion. Losing that job was a blessing in disguise. It gave me the time to focus on my passion, which means losing my job seemed unpleasant and heartbreaking at first, but later on I realized that it turned out good and beneficial, which means losing my job was very disappointing, annoying, heartbreaking, and unpleasant at first, but later on I realized that it worked to the advantage of me and benefited me by providing me with the opportunity I needed, the time that I needed to focus on my passion. Getting to the next expression that tests your knowledge of English expressions, which is to cut corners. To cut corners. To cut corners. What do you guess the meaning of cutting corners is? When someone cuts corners, they do something in the cheapest, quickest, and fastest way possible. by not paying enough attention to quality, which results in sacrificing quality, which results in lowering the quality of what they're doing or lowering the quality of what they've done. So to cut corners means to do something in the fastest and cheapest and quickest way possible, which results in lowering the quality, which results in sacrificing the quality of the service that you're providing or something that you're producing. An example, he has a tendency to cut corners and overcharge his customers. He has a tendency to cut corners and overcharge his customers. He has a tendency to cut corners and overcharge his customers, which means he has a tendency to do things in the fastest, cheapest, and quickest way possible that results in sacrificing the quality of what he's doing. And also, he overcharges his customers. He makes his customers pay over the odds or pay too much for something that, they got to pay much less for. The expression number 9, that if you know your command of English expressions, your knowledge of English expressions is fantastic, which is in the nick of time, 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 in the nick of time. When you do something in the nick of time, you do something in time just before it gets too late. In the nick of time. She arrived in the nick of time before the store closed. She arrived in the nick of time before the store closed. She arrived in the nick of time before the store closed. She arrived in the nick of time before the store closed, which means she arrived in time just before it was too late, which means she arrived in time before it was too late or before it would get too late. So in the nick of time. And finally, the idiomatic expression number 10 that you need to learn how to use to be able to speak a more advanced English, which is to get your money's worth. To get your money's worth. To get your money's worth. What does it mean to get your money's worth? When you get your money's worth, you buy something that is worth the money you spend on it. So to get your money's worth means you buy something that is worth the money that you spend on it. By buying Japanese cars, you really get your money's worth because they're affordable and reliable. By buying Japanese cars, you really get your money's worth because they're reliable and affordable, which means if you buy Japanese cars, you're buying something that is worth the money you're spending on it. They're both adorable and high quality. Alright guys, that's about all. So today's video provided you with the once in a lifetime, 1 in a million opportunity to improve your knowledge of English expressions by learning 10 advanced English expressions that can help you speak English at a more advanced level. Now what I kindly want you to do is like this video in support of your YouTube English teacher and his videos. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and leave a positive comment down below to fill me with the energy I need to keep making these videos for you. I'll be back soon.